Two big stories that are tied to the same thing. The bottom line is this: UNLV will not be traveling to Fort Collins as scheduled. That game on Saturday at Colorado State is off for the time being. And the Raiders will be preparing for their big showdown on Sunday against Kansas City without some key players that are not going to be able to be at practice.
The UNLV football team had 4 people within the program test positive for COVID-19. The results mean the Rebels cannot travel to Fort Collins this weekend to play Colorado State. In a statement, UNLV Director of Athletics Desiree Reed-Francois said, quote, "Based on 4 positive COVID-19 test results in our football program, the resulting contact tracing, and consulting with our medical and epidemiology experts, UNLV will not travel this weekend for its scheduled game at Colorado State and has informed the Mountain West and Colorado State." Over the past 6 weeks, more than 2,600 tests have been administered to UNLV football student athletes, coaches, and staff with a positivity rate of less than 0.6%. Unfortunately, with a surge in cases in the Las Vegas community, and despite the efforts of our student athletes, coaches, and staff to adhere to health and safety protocols, the decision to not play this weekend is in the best health and safety interests of all involved. In all other cases this season, the Mountain West Conference has canceled the game and said it would not be made up. In this case, they only said the game would not be played Saturday. Fox 5 has learned the schools are still discussing the possibility of playing the game after the regular season schedule is complete the weekend of the Mountain West Championship game, a game neither UNLV or Colorado State will play in. If that doesn't happen, the game will be canceled and considered a no contest. Meanwhile, the Raiders have placed 7 new defensive players on the reserve COVID-19 list on Wednesday, joining Cleveland Ferrell and LaMarcus Joyner, who were put on the list earlier this week. At minimum, those players will not be able to practice this week. It's not known if there were positive tests besides Ferrell or if they are just considered high risk. Under NFL protocols, if high-risk players do not test positive for 5 days, they can return, which would be in time for Sunday's game against the Chiefs. The NFL sent a memo to all 32 teams on Wednesday saying that all teams must go into intensive protocols beginning this Saturday. That includes masks at practice, all meetings being held virtually or in large spaces where people can be spread out, and prohibits any gatherings outside of the team facility. That last point is being emphasized with the Thanksgiving holiday approaching.
The world is in a state right now where, that's a great decision, but it impacts everything, just like it impacts this press conference. You do a lot of Zoom meetings, and you got to adapt to the rules, and you got to keep safety paramount, and that's what we're doing. And I tip my hat to the leadership for making all the teams abide by that.
The Raiders Chiefs game is scheduled to be Sunday Night Football this week with a 5:20 kickoff. As of right now, nothing has changed, but you may recall earlier this season when the Raiders had some COVID-19 issues and they were scheduled to play that Sunday night game against Tampa Bay, it was moved to 1 o'clock as a precaution in case the game was canceled or postponed. Nothing has happened yet, but there is a chance that that could be a time change for the Raiders as this week develops and the testing continues.